I'm here with Mike Bernaiche of Lodestar Solutions. I'm Heather Cole, and we're going to just explore what if you're a Cognos client and your executive team's like, hey, consolidate, get to one tool, and they're pushing tools like Power BI, what you should actually stop, pause, and think about. So I'm going to interview Mike, get his feedback, and we'll just have a little dialogue about that.
Sounds good.
So, Mike, we're hearing a lot of buzz about Power BI, how user-friendly the interface is, how departments love it. But let's be real. Can Power BI really go head-to-head with Cognos when it comes to enterprise-grade reporting?
Yeah, so Heather, this is your classic case of style versus substance, right? Yeah, so Heather, this is your classic case of style versus substance, right? Think of Power BI as this fun, flashy, big wow factor, kind of like a social media influencer, right? There's a lot of them out there, and they're fun, and you see that all the the videos and the TikToks and all the rest of it, which is great. But Cognos is like that trusted advisor that's sitting at the executive table. It's robust, it's reliable, capable of handling so much complexity that, maybe Power BI doesn't. Power BI, good tool, shines with your ad hoc analysis, but when you need consistent governance, driven reporting for the entire enterprise, Cognos is just the heavy hitter. Think of Power BI as being cool, easy to use app on your phone, and Cognos is a powerhouse software running in the background, making sure everything stays organized, securable, and scalable.
Okay, so what you're saying is Cognos is like your workhorse, right? But what about those people that say, Cognos is on-prem, it's stodgy, it's old technology, and should that stop businesses from considering moving from Cognos on-prem to Cognos SaaS, especially when, Power BI is native cloud ready?
Yeah, Cognos is really what the original on-prem BI solution, right? I mean, it really is. But if you still think it's we're back in the Stone Ages and it's still the dinosaur stuck back in the on-prem world, let me just stop you there, right? Cognos SaaS is a modern day Phoenix. It's cloud ready, scalable, packed with security and performance that enterprise customers demand. Sure, Power BI is cloud native, but if you need an analytics solution that's going to handle complex financial planning, security, compliance, global operations with ease, Cognos SaaS is really your cloud solution. You can have all the benefits of cloud when the enterprise grade reporting, which is gold star in Cognos. It's like getting, a cloud with an ironclad foundation.
Okay, let's talk about complexity for a moment. A lot of companies have told me that they think that Cognos feels too complex compared to Power BI. Is it really that difficult to master, or is this just a misunderstanding?
Yeah, Cognos is like a luxury sports car. It's built for power, it's built for speed, and it can do amazing and incredible things, but you need to know how to drive it, right? Power BI is like a go-kart. It's fun, it's easy, it gets you from point A to B, but when you need to tackle complex reports, multi-dimensional data, meet the stringent of compliance standards, and let's be honest, things are getting more and more stringent in today's world, right? That's where the complexity of Cognos shines. It's not about being hard. It's about having the right tools to get the job done at the highest level. Power BI, great for simple tasks, but Cognos has the depth that's needed for enterprise scale solutions.
You mentioned when it comes to security, compliance, and governance, that Cognos has been the gold standard for years. But how does Power BI compare when companies are dealing with sensitive regulated data?
Yeah, so let's just say if security was a game of poker, Cognos would be sitting at the table with a royal flush. It's built for regulated industries, can handle everything from financial reports to HIPAA compliance. Power BI has made strides, but it's more like it's at the kids table or the beginners table, right? For businesses that need rigorous security controls, detailed audit trails, compliance checks, Cognos wins hands down. Power BI might be fine for, casual game of data analysis, but when you're playing with the big leagues, you need Cognos to keep your cards close to your chest.
Wow, that kind of helps me understand why Power BI, when they initially came to market, really went after those departments and said, you don't need IT, you can do this. That kind of explains it kind of created like the Wild West out there where they could just do what they wanted without having that big oversight. So that actually makes a lot of sense to me. Now let's talk about AI. Everybody is talking about AI is going to revolutionize analytics. I think it's going to revolutionize actually everything. But how does Cognos stack up to Power BI when it comes to AI and machine learning capabilities?
Yes, right. AI, the shiny new toy that everybody's playing with now, from Apple Intelligence to Copilot and ChatGPT, and the big one, which I'm going to mention in a minute, right? Power BI has some AI tools like the Quick Insights feature, which gives you a basic snapshot of the patterns of your data. But what's Cognos? What's in AI for Cognos, right? Well, it's Watson, the sophisticated big brother of analytics, right? With Cognos, you're not just looking at data trends, you're predicting future outcomes, big topic in today's world, right? Future outcomes and making smarter business decisions before they happen. Think of Power BI as a smart assistant, right? And with Cognos with Watson is like having a full-fledged data scientist working for you. The real magic really happens when Cognos combines AI with its deep structured data, giving you insights that are not just reactive, but proactive. It's not about AI for the sake of AI. It's about AI that empowers decision makers to act faster, stronger, and more confidently.
Now, let's say a company is considering switching from Cognos to Power BI. What are the top three things they should absolutely be considering before making that leap? Because what we're seeing is a lot of executives are like, consolidate this, let's reduce costs. And they just say, just get Power BI because maybe that executive has actually used Power BI. But like, what are the top three things they should consider?
Yeah, first I would ask, can Power BI handle the complexity and scale of your reporting needs, right? If you're managing complex data from multiple departments or need highly detailed customized reports, remember, Cognos reporting is the gold standard. There is not one product that can touch it. Power BI might struggle in that regard. And second, are we prepared for a decentralized BI environment, which can be scary, right? Power BI is designed for self-service, meaning lots of people can create their own reports. How many versions of the truth can that lead to, right? And third, do we need a level of security, governance, and compliance that Cognos can provide? Power BI, candidly, is still catching up in the enterprise security game. And if your organization is bound by regulations or requires, the strictest of security controls, Cognos is the safe bet.
Okay, Mike. So a lot of clients out there have both Cognos, Power BI, and maybe a few other BI tools,
Yep.
but specifically talking about Cognos and Power BI, can they coexist in a modern enterprise, or are they two competitors destined to clash?
The good old dynamic duo, right? Batman and Robin. Yes, of course they can coexist. Cognos and Power BI can coexist. It's like Batman and Robin, right? They can each has their own strengths. Power BI is fantastic for interactive visualizations, fast insights, but Cognos is really the backbone when it comes to structured reporting, governance, and enterprise level scale. We've mentioned that a lot, right? And it's really the truth. Reporting, governance, enterprise level scale. There's no one better than Cognos. So, before you toss one out, let's really think through this. I don't think you need to. Use them together. Let Power BI do what it does best, creating quick and beautiful dashboards, a little bit easier self-service, and let Cognos handle that heavy lifting in the background, compliance ready reporting and planning, and together they can really bring your analytics environment to a whole new level.
So basically, you're saying that Cognos is Batman and Power BI with the flashbang, wow, is Robin. Is that what you're saying, Mike?
That's pretty much what I'm saying. Yeah. Both good tools, both have their strengths, both have their weaknesses.
A big question for companies moving from on-prem Cognos to the cloud solutions is how can they make the migration process as smooth as possible? And we've heard about Modio. Is this a good tool that can help Cognos people as they're looking at migrating, onto the cloud, or even if they are actually thinking about moving to Power BI?
Yeah. No, migration can be scary, right? Again, I'm going to mention the phone. Think about every time you get a new phone and you have to, and that's just migrating content from one thing to another, right? But it's scary because you don't want to lose anything. And it's scary in this way as well, but it doesn't have to be scary or a nightmare. It's like moving into a new house. You need to take inventory, decide what to keep, make sure everything fits. And this is really where Modio comes in. So Modio has a number of tools with asset management and inventory tools that help you take stock of what is in your old system, what's still useful, and what shouldn't come through. Right? Think if you're a Cognos user today, your content store probably has a ton of stuff in it. You have a lot of people who write reports and they save them and whatnot, right? And a lot of them aren't even being used. So, utilize Modio to help take an inventory and just move over the best pieces of what you need. So whether you're moving, on-prem Cognos to Cognos SaaS or trying to integrate Power BI and Cognos, Modio has a number of tools that can help streamline the process. And think of them as 3 men in a truck, right? They're a moving company. They're packing and sorting and keeping everything organized, and it's your one-stop shop for making sure that transition it goes smoothly and effectively.
Finally, Mike, if you could sum up why a company should not dump Cognos for Power BI, what would you say in one sentence?
I would just say don't throw away a world-class solution just because the new kid on the block is cheaper and more fun, right? Cognos is the foundation that keeps your analytics secure and scalable and structured. And while Power BI is a flashy toy, that toy only works until the batteries run out.
Mike, I think that was 2 sentences. One final thing that all our listeners should know is that at Lodestar Solutions, we're giving a webinar that is Cognos versus Power BI. Are you using the right tool for the right job? This will be hosted on April 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern. You will want to register. We will put the link in the comments below. If you miss this event, don't worry, we plan to record it. You'll see it on our YouTube channel. So subscribe to our YouTube channel today and get notified when those get posted. Lodestar Solutions. That's all, folks.